Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. God made me punch in accurate numbers. My castle won't crumble. What I tackle will fumble. I've been a leader when they ain't see it, but now my feet up. According to me, royalty didn't end with King Tut. Crown on my head, clouds is at my legs. Big says sky is the limit. I look down on the ledge. I push the bar like I'm opening a cell. Hands in my cookie jar, you won't come out with a single nail. I need all of mine. The weight of my shoulders won't fit on a scale. What's a king to a giant? Well, Goliath fell. Even if we playin' chess, dog, this king can't be checked. I make all my moves on the board, I invented my steps. I'm a king, the blood of a ruler. I feel like Mansa Musa. Make your squad disappear like landing by the Bermuda. Triangle, look at it from my angle. I'm a king, the closest thing to being one of God's angels. I'm a king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is the Code of Conduct with the King Podcast. I am your host, Jay Spence, the King. And it is a beautiful, beautiful July day. Well, at least it is for me out here in Phoenix with the weather being 180,000 degrees. But it's a beautiful day, and I'm glad to be kicking it with y'all again tonight for the Code of Conduct. And I will actually be going back to back. I have the chop up directly following the Code of Conduct. Well, no, not directly. I'm hoping that I might not go the full hour of Code of Conduct. It might be more like 55 minutes, get a little 5-minute break to go get some water. And then at 9 o'clock, you'll be able to jump right back in, and we'll have Jeremiah Poyer, Sterling Furrows for the girls, and myself, and we'll be bringing you the chop up. And then tomorrow, Wednesday night, we'll be bringing Hump Day Hotline back with Joe Miller. And then following Hump Day Hotline, you have Line to Gain with Sarah Larson and Jerry Ostrowski, the Big O. So make sure y'all stick around and kick it with us. We got good stuff coming all week. We got some schedule changes for the season that we'll be announcing soon. Nothing too major. Some new shows coming in, some other shows going to different days. But all your favorite people are coming back. Like I said, Joe's coming back. John Fain is coming back. It's going to be a good time. So I can't wait for the season. And I'm not going to take up too much time. I got one of my favorite people in the fan base joining me. I got Brother Bill. So I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to bring him in. But before we do, I would like to have a word from my man, Buffalo Freddie. But just briefly before that, I do want to say, before I bring Bill in, I just want to speak on how much I absolutely love and appreciate the fan base. I think that Bills Mafia as a fan base is second to none. And I know that there are times that, like any family, there are disagreements within. There are things that some of us do that others don't agree with. I got a family member who I won't even say the relation because it'll be too easy to figure it out. But I got a family member that does certain things all the time that I just is like, and I'm sure all of you have that cousin, that brother, that sister, that niece, or whatever, right? But what it comes down to is that at the end of the day, you're still a family, and you still love each other, and you still are there for each other. And I just want you to know everything that's been going on over this last week with Nick and Eddie. First, I want to make sure we do right tonight. If you do want to support Nick and his family with all the expenses, there's a lot, and it's not just funeral expenses. There are a bunch of things going on. I've seen some GoFundMe's. I've seen a bunch of different things. This is something that Buffalo Rumblings collectively on the vidcast side has chosen to support. I want to say, if you feel up to it and you feel led to do so, please pull out your phone and scan this code. I'll leave it up for a hot second so you can scan the code, head over and grab a shirt or a hoodie. If you don't have a scanner, if you read the link down at the bottom of the graphic, you can go there and same thing. Buy a shirt for yourself, buy one for a friend, a family member. Support. Let's help Nick, his wife, and his family out with these expenses. beautiful thing. And Eddie warmed all of our hearts. He warmed all of our hearts on a week-to-week basis. There were fights that he went through that I don't know if 95% of us would be strong enough to even think about. So if you can, go ahead and be a blessing to Nick and a blessing to his family, because they're going through it. And but the point that I was making about why I appreciate the fan base, I didn't go through what Nick went through or is going through with Eddie, but I was on the bad side of losing someone in a way that you don't want to lose. And I would tell you, I'm still healing. There's a lot of things that people don't see. There's a lot of sleepless evenings, nights. There's a lot of times where, I'm calling B, texting B or Sarah, or Sterling has been a big help. Joe's been a big help. Tiff. There are people in my life, in my circle, that I talk to. Daryl Domes. There's a certain circle of people, and if I'm forgetting anybody, I apologize. I love you all, but there are certain people that are in my circle who have been there for me, who understand what grieving through these moments are like. And I just wanted to say, I'm so proud of the fan base. I'm so proud of how you've supported Nick. I'm so proud of how you've shown him love. Keep it up. Keep it up. There's a couple bad apples out there, but we don't even have to address those guys. We don't have to worry about that stuff. But those of you who have been showing love and doing the right thing and been being an example of what the city of good neighbors and all of these different things that we call ourselves, you are making another example of why Buffalo and Western New York, Rochester, Syracuse, just Bills Mafia as a whole, you're making another example to show the world why we are hands down the best fan base in the world. So I just want to say thank you all. I love you all. I'm proud of you. Now let's hear from my man, Buffalo Freddy. Okay, here's the deal. I know as Bills fans, we wait all year for the fall and the winter so we can go to the Bills games. I get it. Trust me, I do. But let me tell you why this time of the year is elite. It's party time. And we're going to party for so many reasons, whether it's a graduation party, a birthday party, family reunion, or just because it's Saturday and the weather's perfect. Here's the thing. My guy, Buffalo Freddy, has everything you need to make your party the best party of the year. We have everything from chairs and tables to premium tents, water slides, wet and dry bounce houses, and so much more. And that's not all. The best barbecue catering in Western New York has you covered, whether it's a small party or a corporate gathering. Buffalo Freddy Barbecue Catering makes everything easy for you. Rentals and bookings available now at www.buffalofreddy.com, or you can call 716-4FREDDY. That's 716-437-3339. Remember, for all your party rental needs, just call 4Freddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy. I have one of my favorite people with me from the Bills Mafia family. Not just one of my favorite members of Bills Mafia, but I mean like one of my favorite people. And every time I get a chance to link up with him, it's always an honor, and I just enjoy it. We still got the hottest mixtape of 2021 out there. In case y'all didn't see the picture, I'll post it. But joining me on the Code of Conduct tonight is my man, Brother Bill. What is going on, man?
What's up, man? Good to connect with you again. It's been a minute, and I'm glad to be on.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to have you on it. It sucks. I asked you a few weeks ago, just for scheduling purposes, and we agreed on this. And then in the midst of everything last week, everything that went on with Eddie, it kind of, I don't want to say it's a bad time to do the show, but it was rough on both of us. So if y'all watching live and my eyes are red, it's because we just had a moment. The video that you saw at the beginning of the show, Brother Bill and I just watched it. So it was one of those things where we just kind of had a moment. And so I don't want to lie to y'all. We're gonna get into it though. I'm gonna get it together. But hey, have some. I know you love him. Have some words for Eddie really quick if you feel up to it.
Yeah, man. Eddie was awesome, dude. Like I can't even. I'm like just seeing him on the timeline. You never knew what you were gonna get. Like when he was gonna pop up at the time, it was just like a ray of sunshine. It really was. Like I loved it. He would send me videos. I'm a Cubs fan too. His dad's a Cubs fan. They're like in the Illinois area. So one summer he sent me like a video before we were going to Chicago, and like wishing me a good trip in Chicago, and just the way he said Chicago was so cute. And me and my girlfriend still around and say he says Chicago or something like that, and it was just I just love that kid, man. It's really really heartbreaking. Like it's tough to wrap your head around it, and it's just not fair. And like I want to send Nick all my love and let him know I'm with him, and if he's ever needs anyone to talk to, obviously I'm here for him. And I'm gonna really miss seeing Eddie on game, just anytime. Honestly, anytime he popped up, it was instantly made my day. So I'm really gonna miss that kid.
Yeah, and I'm with you, man. Like the dude, man, it was Sundays where, it wouldn't be much good to talk about, like during any of those 3 weeks where we lost by a combined total of 8 points last season, but yet you still see an Eddie video where he's saying go Bills, or he's, giving some encouragement, and he goes through a procedure, but he's still fighting, and yet I'm sitting here complaining about work, and it just gives you a different perspective of life. So I do want to take some time really quickly and say, hey, if you we this is not a SB Nation or a Buffalo Rumblings thing, but there are t-shirts and hoodies available for sale that will go directly to Nick to help with the expenses of the funeral and hospital, just anything. If you know Eddie's story, there's a lot that will come with it. So if you can find it in your heart, these will be on sale until July 14th, and they'll ship out on the 27th. And so scan this code right from your phone. That's why I left it up for a little bit longer, so you have time to pull your phone out and scan it, or you can rewind and go back to that link there on the bottom. I'll also make sure that the link is in the comments for either the show or a podcast if you're listening to it via podcast, so that way you can access it. So, but let's represent this one. I'm gonna dedicate this one to Eddie. So I'm gonna try my hardest to have this be the best podcast that I've ever done. And I got the guests to do it. So let's start, man. Last season, man, I feel like you took everything that you did. Everybody loves Brother Bill. We love Brother Bill. The videos are obviously amazing, but I feel like you took a couple steps where you stepped outside of being just like and I don't want to say local celebrity in the negative manner, but I mean, like you took a step past, okay, everybody in Buffalo and Rochester knows me for the Bills. And then it kind of took on a whole different thing. You started getting Pepsi endorsements and you started doing other things. Tell me how last season felt for you, man, just like overall with the way it happened.
It was pretty crazy. Like when you get like the bigger things to reach out to you and all that. Like when I started, it was just joking around, and even still, like I try not to take it too serious, or like I don't try to like pursue anything. I kind of like do my thing, and everything I do, like I love Pepsi. I just truly do. I love everything I just like, and if it comes to me, it comes to me. That's kind of how I've always done it. So like I don't want it to turn into some like big thing. I just want it to stay like what it is, and that's what makes it fun for me, because I don't want it to be like a job or anything like that. So it was cool just to have that. And I love going to games and like people coming up to me. And it is wild though. It's like tough to get used to sometimes when you're just walking, especially after a loss. And I'm like leaving the stadium and people still want to take pictures. And I'm like, I'll still do it, but like you're not in the mood. So it is awesome though. I love like talking to everybody and meeting people and just loving the Bills with everybody.
Yeah, I bet it does take a lot to get used to when because I mean, in reality, you're a fan, right? Like you're a fan just like the rest of us. And then it turned into, oh my God, that's Brother Bill. I got to take a picture with Brother Bill. I love when you and your girlfriend like post, like just have fun back and forth on social media talking about things. One of my favorite that you guys did was when she posted what it's like being your girlfriend, like being behind the scenes. The funniest, man.
Bro, that was funny.
What was one of your, like, so for you personally, which one would you say was the top for you last season?
My favorite video?
Yeah.
Oh man. I think I really liked the Bengals. It kind of got a little I don't want to say like it was the DeMar Hamlin game, so like the game didn't really go on, and obviously like that didn't matter anymore. But that video with like it was like the Harambe thing where like
yeah,
I had like in my head if me and Harambe became friends and stuff. And it was just like it was stupid that like as I was filming it, I'm like to myself, I thought it was funny, but I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be funny to people. Like this is just so weird, but it ended up doing well. And like it was just so funny to film. Like I was cracking up a lot. And then probably actually the Home Alone Christmas one was probably that was probably the best one because I was like, me and my friends filming it. Like usually you don't realize how funny it's gonna be because like you're doing it for like 30 seconds and you're like just cutting it and like going on to the next thing. But we were like legit like dying like as we were filming some of the stuff. So I knew that one was gonna be good, and that one was probably my favorite actually when I think about it.
So obviously now there's an extra game now too. So there's 17 games for us in the season. How do you do? Like, do you kind of plan through it? Like now it's the preseason, or it's not yet, but it's the summer off season. Are you planning now for every week, or kind of do you just wait till something comes up every week, like anything culture, and you kind of just change it for the culture? Like how do you prep?
So I definitely do like once the schedule's like out, I put it all in my notes in my phone, and I'll start like jotting down like loose ideas or like big scenes that I know I'm gonna use like no matter what. Like just something about that city that like last year with the Ravens with like the Omar from the Wire scene. Like
Yeah.
like there's things like that where I'm like, let me write this down so I don't forget, and that's gonna be in it. But then I'll leave like things to just happen. I film every week, so it's I'm always able to throw in kind of random stuff when I have to, or like things that just pop up. I'm always able to like put in because I'm filming it like the day before or that day or whatever it is. So it's kind of a combination of both. Like I try to get the big things thought of, or just jot down like anything I can think about that city, so it makes my life a little easier as I'm like just going every week.
Well, so how long? So just a typical, even because I know each one is different depending on how much effort you put into it, but just typically like during the week, how long does that process go for you?
Man, it's probably like honestly, it's probably like a 8-10 hour maybe, like between thinking it, getting everything like assembled. Now I have like it's getting a little bigger, so like I have like other people in it, so I'm trying to work friend schedules and filming a little piece here, a little piece there when they can show up. And so it becomes almost like a second job, honestly. During the season it gets intense.
Yeah, I can imagine because you do a lot, and then like because some of the weeks, man, like you drive to different towns to do stuff, and so like I know like the Pittsburgh one to me was like like the Pittsburgh one, I'll never forget that one because it's just like, yo, this dude really like he just really has no chill, and it was the funniest, because you just don't, the jokes and stuff, but it's like you took the time, like, no, we're gonna go down there, we're going. It's just I love how you punt everybody's food or something about your town. I just love it. So now keep going, man. It's fun. It gives us. I think it's gotten to the point where you've become part of the fabric of what Bills Mafia is. So like every Sunday we wake up and it's not game day until Brother Bill drops the video. Do you feel like that?
I'm starting like, yeah, I get like the tweets. Like there's some days where like I'm running a little bit behind, so I'm still filming in the morning. And I'll be getting like the tweets like from people saying like, where is it? Where is it? I feel that now. It's awesome though. It's like definitely nothing I didn't even dream that would be like a thing, but it's awesome.
Do you ever feel pressure? Like, is it like, okay, this has to hit?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like my girlfriend always hears it because I'll be like, I'm ruined. I'm gonna like this one's gonna suck. Like I'm always like super stressed. And then it always turns out good. But I definitely get like, there's some games where like, like some of these like Titans and stuff, we play them every year. You feel like sometimes. So I've done some of these teams like 6 times. I'm just like sitting in my bed at night, like 3 a.m, can't go to. I'm just trying to think like, what. But something always in my head.
No, that's great though, man. And it's just to me the apex or the final boss moment of it all. Josh Allen comes out and says like, yo, that dude is a freaking legend. He calls you a legend, or the GOAT. He calls you the GOAT. Just, I mean, I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. But if I were to be jealous, like, like what was that day for? Like, what were you doing when you heard it? Or, like, how did you find out?
I was at my parents' house. So I'm a barber. I don't know if everyone knows that, but I cut. So I went to my dad's house. He needed a haircut, and I was cutting his hair in my basement, or in their basement, which is where I like first started cutting hair, like 11 years ago when I started. And so I didn't check my phone for like 40 minutes. We were just like talking, like cutting his hair. And I came upstairs and I'm like sitting on the couch with my mom, and I opened my phone. I'm getting like all these tweets coming in about like Josh Allen knows brother Bill, like somebody, like, you know what I mean? Like all these, I'm like, I just thought it was people messing around or something. And then finally someone was like, can't believe Josh Allen shouted out brother Bill. And I was like, I just tweeted her back and I was like, where? And she was like, oh, the Kyle Brandt podcast. He just like said something. I was like, does anybody have this? And someone like sent me a screen grab, and I was just like, oh my God. So I showed my mom. It was cool because I was at my parents' house. So like they got super hyped. I drove right to my grandma, showed her. She was super hyped. So that was that was awesome.
Now, see, I in a way, a small way, I can relate to the feeling, especially of surprise. But like, I just couldn't imagine it being Josh. So like for me, my moment in a way was like, so the season before, not last season, but like I was doing the Poyer for All Pro or we Riot campaign, and after the Bills beat the Jets in the playoffs, that 47-17 beat down that we gave him in the presser, he's like, yeah, shout out to Spence. And so same thing, like I'm outside, I rolled up, I'm outside smoking, like, hell yeah, we beat the, you know, I'm out there. And then I go back in and I look at my phone and it's like, bop, 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 bop. So I open it, I'm like, oh crap. But again, Josh, man, like that's freaking dope, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. So what do you, I get, how do I want to ask this question? Because I don't want you to give any spoilers or anything like that. But other than obviously season opener is always a huge deal. Like you gotta come out with a bang. But are you planning, or do you have anything that you feel like, okay, wait, this week during the season, this has got to be the one? Like, is there one that we should be on the lookout for the season?
I think my Dallas, if I can bring what I'm thinking to life as good as I see it, Dallas is going to be really good. I think Dallas is going to be like the one. That was the one that I had like infinite
circle
immediately, and like have like a whole like plot written out already. So I'm sure there'll be things that pop up that I'll add, but if I can pull it off the way I'm like dreaming of it, it'll be really good.
Obviously I'm not there for the production and the shooting, but so how have there been times that you haven't been able to really translate it the way you've the way you've drawn it up?
Sometimes it's just like things that happen that go wrong, or like which one I'm thinking of. I think it was 2 years ago, the Thanksgiving game against the Saints, and I had like this whole idea of like I had like a marching band. Like one of my clients is in like a military marching band, so I was like, yo, can you get like a handful of these people to like want to come to this like field on a Sunday and just like do this for me? So like they came, and we did like it was like an hour of us. Like I had like this vision of like a horror movie while like they're marching, playing like when the Saints go marching in, like one by one they start to disappear, and like it's kind of like a horror movie type like vibe,
right?
Like what the hell, like people are disappearing and like turn chaotic. And we tried to do it, and it was just like really hard, and I still made it work. It just like I didn't do that like vision anymore. It's just like I show up out of the bushes, and then it cut to like a please, like I forget how I did it. There's like a graphic saying like technical difficulties, and I had all these sounds of like instruments being stuff like that. But I definitely dropped that scene. And then there's been times where like, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not really like an editor. I'm not really like a director. Like nobody I do stuff with, like they're all my friends. So, like we're not pros at all. So there's times where things just go wrong. Like I had my mom filming for me once, which is, she's in like, so like she doesn't really know the phone that well. So when she was trying to film, she wasn't filming. And when she thought she was filming, like turning it off. So like the whole scene was like, and I was on like heavy construction equipment that sometimes we use, and that was like a debacle because I didn't realize it till like I got home later and I went to watch them all, and it's all like, nothing. Like it's like as soon as I'm like, all right, you ready? And then it'll like, cut out, and I'm like, so that was like, and there's always things like that kind of happen, but like we make it work.
I can imagine how stressful that moment, like the moment you go to look like.
And then but I'm like, it's my mom. Like, she doesn't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
How to do all this stuff.
No, that's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. So, okay, well, we'll be looking forward to it. So let's pivot a little bit. I got a couple questions for you about the team, man. First, sorry to you, but he's gone.
I know.
He's gone. So how does that? What do you think about the replacement? What do you think about like just the way that the direction the team went? I know you're heartbroken about it because is you feel the way about Lil Dirty as I do about Tremaine. So we're both heartbroken this year, but but going forward, how do you feel about the plan that the team has?
I trust it. I don't know too much about like Hardy. I like Sherfield a little. I know more about Sherfield because like we watch the Dolphins a lot more than Saints. I know Hardy's been hurt a lot, but like you hear like them talking about him in camp and he looks like great. I saw Dawson Knox saying like he's insanely fast and stuff. So like I'm excited to see it. I'm bummed. Obviously, it can't be my guy, but I'll still trust the process and trust the vision. And like I've seen like Kincaid being like kind of used as a slot. There's a slot, so that's probably going to be more like the route they're going to go. I'm thinking because like we just big pick on him. So like I'm still like super optimistic and trusting the team. And I mean, as long as Josh and Stefan are there, like I know we're golden.
Yeah. Are you going to watch any Colts game like because of Lil Dirty, or are you going to kind of just let it be? He's no longer a Bill.
No. I love him. I'll stay sure.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm definitely gonna watch the Bears. They're gonna be my NFC team this year just because Tremaine. So they stole me from the Cardinals. They sucked anyway, so it don't matter. But yeah, it's gonna be the Bears this year, man. So now you mentioned Josh and Steph. I'm not gonna bring up the drama. It's over. It's over. Steph is here. He's happy. It is what it is. But I guess so. My question about when it comes to Josh and Steph now. We saw them. They've had a great year every year they've been together, right? But they're obviously towards the end of the season. I don't know if it was play calling. I don't know what it was. But the issue to me isn't the Josh and Steph thing. Even when Steph is on the sideline doing like this, like it's still not the issue because I know Josh is going to feed him. He's going to still get 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns, whatever. What about Gabe? How do you feel about Gabe being that number 2 guy? Because there was a lot of, me included, I still want them to go get Hop, man. Like, what are we doing with this? Go get Hop.
I was pounding the table for Hop.
Well, he still hasn't signed. So I mean, like, what's happening? Like, so how do you feel about just overall? I know I asked you about Lil Dirty, but I mean, just overall, I know you're trusting the process, but this offense, I like the Kincaid pick, like you mentioned, but Davis. Are we going to give him an extension at the end of the season? Because it's time.
I know it's tough. It's like when you look at his stats, like compared to other wide receiver 2s, he's up there with like the good one. Like, you know what I mean? He is up there, but like it's just kind of the way it happens. Like I feel like it's either like he has a game where he's putting up like insane numbers and you don't hear from him for like 3 weeks. And I think last year what was mostly like bothering me was like, I mean, those years where he was in like more of like the reserve role where like he'd make the big play when you needed it. And that's like what we loved about him. We came to know him for like showing up and like showing why we wanted to see more of him, I feel like. And it felt like last year was like it was like when we needed him most, he was dropping the balls. And I mean, I'm not giving up on him. Like he's still young and like he showed what he can do, but like, part of me likes him more as like that number 3 guy who just has to make a big play every now, like a home run hitter, throw him. But like if you add a Hop and you have him as your 3, that's like, like that's what I want. Because man, I'm a Cubs fan, so like for most of my life, like they sucked and they won that one World Series. And I always see people arguing about like, would you sell out for 1 year? Like, is it worth it if like we sucked, but you got 1 Super Bowl? And the Cubs have sucked since that year, pretty much. And I'm telling you, it is 100% worth it. It's been like
it's worth it.
It's been like 7 years now, and I'm still like I'm when they mess up everything, I still go like, oh yeah, we won the World Series. Like I'm still coasting off that high. Like it lasts a long time. And the difference with like selling out, like people always want to compare the Rams, but like they had like a 35-year-old or however old Stafford was when they did it. Josh is still like in his 20s. Like, you know what I mean? We can.
Oh yeah.
We'll never have that fall off. Like, you know what I mean? If you got Hop for a year, or if we traded a pick or something for somebody big, like we still have the time to like be good. Like, it's not like the world's over because you made one move to try to really push for it.
No, I'm with you, and I agree completely, because I feel like a lot of times you'll hear national media, which is why like I'll still watch and I support certain people, and I still really, but the way I used to really dive into content from everywhere, I just don't, because I feel like people say stuff just for the sake of saying it and they don't know. And they're like, oh, the Bills window is closed now. Last year was their year. And it's like, wait, what? Did Josh Allen retire? Did Stephon Diggs get traded, or I don't know, is Matt Milano no longer? I just don't understand when people say stuff like that. So I get super confused, but okay. And then, so a couple more questions and then we'll get on out of here, man. I won't hold you too long. The stadium is being built, but they broke ground. I've always been Team Dome. Always been Team Dome. I understand people are like, well, the dome doesn't matter because you still can't get to the game if it's bad. Okay, whatever, right? But just hear me out. Are you Team Dome or Team?
I'm Team Dome.
Team Dome. Okay, so
any weather, I will, like, you know what I mean? I'll be there, whatever. I just want my team to play its best. Like, that's literally, like, it's not like I don't want to be cold or something. It's like I just want my team to perform. So whatever.
I want to be warm. I don't want to be I don't want to be cold. But truthfully, I agree with what you said as well. It really comes down to it. If you anybody listening to this, watching this, when you get bored, when you get done watching the show, go and Google Josh Allen stats in a dome versus Josh Allen stats in an open air stadium. And I just want you to compare and contrast the interceptions, the completion percentage, everything. Even look at his rushing stats. Do that for me and compare those, and then get back to me. Everybody at me on Twitter, yell at me, whatever. But when you go look at those stats, then bring it back and let me know again, because it's just, I don't understand. I don't understand how most people now say, well, it's an advantage for Buffalo. How is it an advantage, man? Like, both teams have to play in it. It's not an advantage.
It's not the 90s anymore either, where like you can just ground and pound, like you win with the quarterback. And we have a guy who's better than your field of quarterbacks. So like, why not? Why hinder it?
And we don't have like you mentioned, you can't ground and pound anymore. Even if we could, I don't think we. Now, I love James Cook. I love Cook. I love the Damian Harris pickup. I love, so like I love the running backs we have. Naheem Hines, I know that's your guy too. I love him, but are those guys ground and pound guys? Right. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. So, but as far as how it's going, do you like the plans? Do you what you've seen from the stadium?
Like anything that like keeps us here obviously longer and gives me some security with that, because that's always like the biggest fear I feel like as a small market team is they're gonna leave one day. So like I like the move. I don't like that it's like 12,000 seats smaller or whatever, because like that's just not us, you know what I mean? Like I know they want to make it fancy and they want to put the suites in, but like you're gonna sell out. We're gonna sell out when we're terrible. You know what I mean? Like we're that type of fan base. So like I don't like thinking that like we're gonna have 12,000 less seats. I think you could add 10,000 more and probably still fill it
easy,
like a college
easy.
team.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm sorry. What you said? What was the last thing you said?
I'm still excited. I'm hoping it. I would love to see like just like building up that area around it with like some bars and hotels and like other things that kind of like keep you going or adding something to it a little bit more. But I'm excited for it for sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, and then I'm not. I know some people are upset that it's still in Orchard Park. I'm okay with it being in Orchard Park. It's been there for so long, and really, to my knowledge, I don't think there's any issues, or there's never been a major issue with it being there. So I think I'm okay with that. I would have liked to see a way that it could have benefited Orchard Park and the city more I'm not saying that because it benefits the city, but I just would have liked if it would have been a little bit more of an impact, maybe a little bit closer. I think there's some areas that I thought would have made a good place. I don't know if they were in contention or not. Right there along, what is that? Is that the 5? Like where it's like right on the water, and then you got like those old abandoned warehouses.
Yeah.
Why the heck couldn't we knock down those warehouses and put up the stadium there?
That would be cool.
You got the water in the background, great tailgating. Could you imagine tailgating, barbecuing, and eating all that stuff out there? Come on, man. And then you're right there next to the Skyway. So right after the game, downtown bars are eating off of it.
Sabres are right there too, honestly.
See, I'm just saying, I think we kind of missed an opportunity, but no, man, look, I appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to me about your content and the Bills and all that stuff, man. I just it kind of took a turn, obviously, because of Eddie, but you are one of my favorite people, man, and I appreciate you every time we get a chance to link. You're good people. Oh, and you know what? And you got good family too. Your cousin Jenna is like top tier. Shout out to Jenna.
I love that.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything you want to shout out? Anything you got going on that you kind of want to highlight or tell people to look out for, and then we'll get on out of here.
Just ready for the season, man. Planning some stuff and working on it, and I just can't wait to get back to the tailgates in the stadium, and hopefully I can do it a couple games this year.
I can't wait. Like it needs to happen like now. Like I know it's July. We don't want to rush the summer, but I tell you what, can we get to September? Like this is September yet. So are you going to the home opener as well? I mean the season opener as well?
Home opener, season opener is up in the air. My cousin lives kind of close to MetLife, so I'm like debating it.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend won't be able to go because she's starting her full-time job this year, so she's gonna be doing that. It's like a Monday night, but I'm thinking about it a little bit. I would like to get there.
All right. Well, if you do, man, I hope we get a chance to link up there. For sure. I know the home opener. I'll be sure to see you there, and I'll grab you. I'll grab a beer with you.
You were at the Jets and the Knicks game, and I was at the Jets and the Knicks game last year.
Yeah.
There, man.
I didn't know until after. If I would have known, I would have absolutely been like, wait, let me buy you a beer or something. But yeah, this time for sure. We're going to link.
100%.
So, all right, look, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how to do it. Oh, wait, actually, let me remind you, please, if you do want to support Nick with the passing of Eddie, we want to support him and his family and his wife and all the funeral costs and all that stuff. So please, if you can scan or go to the website, support. Every single penny outside of what the materials cost will go directly to Nick. So please, if you feel led to do so, please check it out. Go grab one and buy one for somebody else too. Buy one for you and somebody else. Make somebody happy with a good gift. So y'all know how we do it over here with Buffalo Rumblings. It's your boy Jay Spencer King. Y'all love each other. Take care of each other and live in peace. And as always, stay positive. Test negative. Go Bills.